when the sleep paralysis demon looking kinda. This movie looks like it's the last movie on the shelf in Blockbuster. This is Slumber. And in all seriousness, have you ever had sleep paralysis? Because it's actually horrifying. Now, this movie kind of explores the option that when we say we see a sleep paralysis demon, that's actually a demon. And, not just a manifestation of fears and insecurities and horrors that we may have going on in our subconscious. And it's kind of described, I've heard it described all different ways. Some people say they kind of just feel like there's a presence in the room. I've had a coworker say that she saw somebody standing outside her door that had broken into their house. I've kind of only experienced the sheer panic attack that is associated with it, not necessarily the demon. Because they know if they saw me, I wouldn't be able to resist myself, you know what I'm saying? Alright, well anyway, I think we should jump right into this nightmare fuel, no pun intended. First things first, we see a child die to a sleep demon. And boom! The child that was next to him when he died is actually now an adult, and she was his sister, and she's a sleep doctor. Something I've noticed about modern horror, I know that there's other examples that I can't think of off the top of my head, but Smile is the first one that comes to mind, and basically, a character has a traumatic situation happen to them growing up, and now they have grown into that profession to help said problem, and then inevitably they will have to face that same problem at another time. So, the sleep doctor interviews this family who discusses that their son has been having these severe sleep disturbances, night terrors, and walking around in his sleep. He claims to obviously see a monster when he's in his sleeping state. When she tells him that there's nothing to worry about, it's all in his head, the family then confesses that all of them have been experiencing the exact same terrifying hallucinations and sleepwalking. I'll be honest, that's just terrifying. Imagine just having a conversation with your family like, yeah, I've been sleepwalking and threatening to cut my arm off. What about you? Something that is definitely predominant in this movie, though I'm absolutely not complaining, is that we're entitled to think that the doctor, our main character, is the highlight of the movie, when in reality, the family that's suffering from this demon's actually the highlight of the movie, and we spend a lot of time on them and not really on our main character that we were introduced to, which I could see some complaining about, but quite honestly, she's uninteresting. And this family is unhinged. Not in the way you'd think, because it is all the demon's doing. After they meet with the doctor, we see them at night, basically spend a night with them, and we have this absolutely horrifying scene where they're all absolutely asleep, and the demon is clearly coming for the son, who's locked in his bed, while the rest of the family is kind of walking around in a sleep-induced paranoia state, where you have the mom playing with a blender and putting her hands in the fucking blender, and you have the little girl walking around with hedge clippers, threatening to cut things, and then you have the dad who is holding the blankets of their dead child, so that's grim. And I'm gonna let you know right now, because we got 2 serious trigger warnings here. If you have a problem with teeth and gore in horror movies, don't watch this movie, because I hate teeth gore, and I hated these scenes. Also, second one, the dog, he doesn't make it out of this movie. Sorry, little buddy. But we get to our moment where they're going to stay at the hospital so that they can study their sleep. I wonder what could possibly happen. Antics ensue. Obviously, the family all starts acting in their unhinged sleeping state. The doctors rush in, and the dad immediately attacks one of the doctors, and they just get him arrested. I do understand there has been an assault here, and I assume that they assume he's been assaulting his family in his sleep, and that, it's gonna happen again, and so they get him arrested, but the guy was asleep. I don't really understand how that unfolded, but anyway, after the dad gets arrested, the family is then sent to fend on their own at home, and that is when the teeth scenes come in, and oh boy, I hate those. And it's also the night that the dog dies, so I will be unaliving myself shortly. So we're back to our main character, the doctor. She does her own research on the sleep paralysis demons, and definitely her traumatic past where her brother clearly died to one is kind of mixing in with this. So she starts kind of looking like she's losing her fucking mind to everyone else. Because, what logical doctor who's gone to medical school for 15 years and is in $45 million in debt would prescribe somebody healing from demons? Doesn't really sound like solid medical advice. But she's determined that she now believes the dad, believes the family. She goes and she gets him out of jail. And they're now on a mission to save the son. Because the demon seems to have taken a very severe interest in the son, not really the rest of the family. It seems more like the rest of the family acting unhinged is almost a side effect to the demon taking the son. This is where I kind of think that the story loses itself a lot for me, because there was a really throwaway side character that worked at the hospital early on. He maybe had 3 or 4 lines. She kind of just gets in her head that he must know what's going on, because after he witnessed the family kind of lose their mind, he was like, I'm not going to be in this hospital anymore, and she kind of just gets that he must know what's going on. Ma'am, what if he didn't get what was going on? What if he didn't really like the violence that was happening? Could be that, could also be the fact that he knows all about these sleep demons. Hint, it's the second one. But she goes to his house where his grandfather is there. His grandfather is absolutely off his fucking rocker, and he claims to know everything about the demons because he survived one of the demons. How did he survive, you must ask? Well, apparently the demon was going to take him, and his sister offered her soul to the demon instead. I'm gonna be real, this sounds like some Exorcist type shit. I don't think that demons really would work like that, my friend. I don't think you can just be like, here's a coupon for my soul. No, you're interested in this other one, but just take mine instead. And the demon just goes like, deuces. But anywho, they do just bring this wise old man over to the family's house, 100% without telling them what the fuck's going on. And he basically just says that their son's gonna die, and they just kind of have to deal with that. So that's grim. So in a final stand against this demon, they decide they're gonna go full Insidious mode, which basically means that they are going to try to travel in another realm to save the son and get rid of the demon. Kind of like Insidious, where it's not the Upside Down, that's Stranger Things. I don't remember, there's too many horror movies. But they're going to go full-on Insidious mode, and they are going to save the son in their sleep-induced state when they're in another realm of existence, basically. They all go to sleep, and they all get full and well stuck in their sleep sequences. Our main character, the doctor, I finally remembered her name, it's Alice. Alice finally wakes up, and from her sleep sequence, I suppose, when, she realizes that she's in a dream, she comes to rescue the son, but, the demon's already attacking the son. The old wise man then takes this opportunity to ask the demon to take him instead, just like his sister did all those years ago. Lord, who could have seen this coming? The demon goes into him, and then Alice stabs him. He dies, and seemingly it seems like the demon no longer exists. But this is the perfect time for her husband, who this entire time has been assuming she's unhinged, and her colleague from earlier, who really only has 10 throwaway lines, who also assumes she's unhinged, to find the family and find the house, and they basically just find her collapsed over this dead man's body with this family around them. So, Lord knows what's gonna happen there. The whole thing ends up wrapping up with her in one of those really fancy bougie psych wards, and she's video calling with her daughter, who is also basically a side character in all of this too. We had a call with her daughter, and then her daughter basically ends up mentioning that she's been seeing something, and she starts humming the tune that all of the victims have been humming this entire time, to which the wife obviously acts extremely unhinged to, and the husband hangs up on her, and we kind of just get a hard cut end of the movie. So it kind of does prey on that helplessness feeling of I know something's going on, but there's absolutely nobody in their right mind that would ever believe you. They're just going to assume you're unhinged. And that was Slumber, my favorite last movie on the blockbuster shelf. I think the movie was extremely well shot. It was extremely well acted. I really did love the family. I didn't really like our main character, our doctor. I think that her and her entire family were kind of bland. But the actual family that we follow, that was plagued with this demon, I absolutely love them. I think they did a phenomenal job acting so plagued and unhinged the entire time. And, I am a bit sad that they killed their dog, but, they didn't mean to. But if you're feeling like being scared of the shadows in your bedroom when you go to bed, I think you should give it a watch. And that is it from me. That is Slumber. And videos like this, I make them. And if you want to see more like it, please tell me. I would love to make any sort of video that you want to see in the future. I'll watch a movie for you. So if you did like this video, please make sure to interact with it, and please do subscribe. It means so much to me, and thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!